Hello everyone. Now we will discuss about sample paper set 5 of science class 10th. So the first question is, draw a selection view of human female reproductive system and the labeling that part where egg development, fertilizer takes place, fertilized eggs get implanted. And the second question is, describe in brief the change the uterus undergo to receive the zygote if zygote is not formed. And the answer is, so there is a diagram, female reproductive system. So there is a part fallopian tube, ovary, uterus, cervix, vagina. So learn this diagram. This is an important diagram. So basically the answer of first question is egg develop. So the egg develop the human female reproductive system which produce eggs in ovary. The egg is also produced in ovary for human reproductive system. The second question is fertilization take place. In female body, the female reproductive system which fusion of egg or sperm take place in fallopian tubes. It occurs in a fallopian tubes. So the third question is fertilization eggs gets implanted. Where is implanted? In human female reproductive system where zygote is implanted in uterus. So there is a three parts: ovary, fallopian tube and uterus. The next question is, describe in brief the changes that uterus undergo to receive the zygote if zygote is not formed. So the answer is, the various changes the uterus undergo to receive the zygote as follows. Firstly, in inner lining of uterus being thick or soft, it is a lot of blood capillaries before releasing of fertilizing egg. And second is, uterus keep the zygote for further development and exchange of food and nutrition is provided at the tissue placenta. If egg is not formed, if by chance egg is not fertilized, then the thick or a soft inner layer linking along the dead egg and blood vessels of the uterus out of the vagina and blood formed. This is called menstruation. This is a common problem of female. So the next question is, name the part labeling as A, B, C, D in the diagram given below. Next is, what is a pollination? State is signifies. Next is, how does fertilization occur in flower? Name the part of the flower that develop into seeds and fruit after fertilization. This is a very important question of class 10th. I also done this topic in my previous videos, sample paper 4. Please go through. So there is a answer in right side diagram. There is a flower parts. First part is pollen grains, the middle is pollen tube, center is ovule, and there is last is female male tubes. So the A is upper part pollen grains, B is pollen tube, C is ovary, and D is female germ cells. So the next question is, what is pollination? Pollination is a process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of the flower. This is a common process, the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a flower. It signifies the pollination is significant because it's a fertilization process. It's bring to development of gametes closer to the process of fertilization. And third is fertilization in plants. How to fertilize in plants? I always go through the pollination is also fertilized by fertilization. Once the pollen is deposited on the stigma, then the pollen tube are also occurred. The pollen tube grow on the ovule and reach the ovary where ovule is located. The pollen tube normally enters the ovule and then called the microscope. Inside the ovule, the process releases two gametes. It's called embrosac, and the embrosac is contain the egg. One male gamete fuses with the egg, then male and female gamete is called synagamy. It also produces zygote. So the other male gametes are two bodies and the process are triple fusion, which three nucleus are involved in a fusion process, one male gamete and two pollen nuclei. So there is a double fertilization also occur. There is after fertilization, ovule develop into the seeds and ovule develop into the fruits. So there is a basically for process. The next question is, explain the process term related to spherical lens. First is optical center of curvature, principal axis, aperture, principal focus length. So there is a definitions related to the physics chapter. And the next question is, a converging lens has focal length of 12 cm. Calculate at what distance should the object be placed from the lens so that it form an image at 48 cm on the other side of the lens. So the answer is, there is a definition question. What is optical center? Optical center is basically a central point of the lens. It is which can be measured the length. Optical center is represented by O, if which while passing the lens light that optical center there does not suffer any deviation or goes to straight. The center of curvature. Center of curvature is a spherical which operates a lens is called separator of curvature. Concave and convex lens has two center of curvature because they are formed two combination of two part of spherical, so they are denoted by C, and the second is C2. The principal axis is the line passing through the optical center of the lens and perpendicular to the face of the lens. The principal axis. Aperture. Aperture is the diameter of the spherical which is lens is formed. Principal focus. The point at which a ray after refraction and reflection converging into convex lens and mirror respectively is known as focus. So the focal length is the distance between the optical center and the principal focus of a lens is called focal length. And the next is numerical. So the given is imaging distance V48, focal length F12, object distance we find. So using formula same, 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. So calculate 1 by U is put the value and U is minus 24 centimeter. So U means the object should place at the distance 24. Confirm the convex lens. Next is this is a part of the human eye that control the amount of the light entering into it. Explain the perform this function. Second is write the function of the retina in human eye. Thus, do you know that the corneal implant can be corrected by replace the defective cornea with the cornea of the donated eye? How and why should we organize group to motivate the community member to donate their eye after death? So the answer is first is pupil. Pupil can control the amount of light entering the eye. The pupil changes size to adjust the amount of light. It is a basic kind of upper part of the eye which can manage the light incoming, outgoing, and the retina. Second is retina. Retina is a nerve layer lining back of the eye. There is an important retina is about most important. The retina senses light to enter internal neutral signals that are sent to the brain. Third is cornea. Cornea implantation involves replacing the cornea. In this process, only the cornea is replaced. Only cornea is replaced. Eye donation should be coverage because it's just a priceless gift, which one personal gift to others. Also, the how even also she is die. 25. Question 25 is an experiment. Study the properties of ethonic acid. A student of about 3 ml of ethonic acid in dry test tube. Let's add an equal amount of distilled water to it and shake the test tube well. After some times he is likely to observe. So there is a 4 question option. So basically on addition the 3 ml of ethonic acid to the test tube containing 3 ml distilled water, a clear solution is observed. Well, we have no color due to the high solubility of the ethonic acid in water. Basically ethonic acid is called CH3COH. It's also called it's also called vinegar. So vinegar is soluble in water, so it's a clear solution. No color will be observed due to high solubility. So there is a 4 option. Option first, a colloid form this test tube. This is wrong. B is the ethonic acid dissolved readily in water. This is true. C is the solution become light orange. This is wrong. Water floating over the surface of ethonic acid. This is also wrong. So the answer is B option. Ethonic acid is soluble in water. There is a clear solution.